it can actually get disheveled, and it almost looks like battle damage.
I gotta look at it because, like, how do you mean?
Excuse me. Throat's getting a little tired there.
Like, power of the clear liquid.
Power of the clear liquid. So actually, specifically, the tie came loose. I was just sort of flopping around there for a while.
I gotta go back and watch this because I really didn't notice it.
To me, it's almost like the equivalent of Dolph Ziggler's hair, where it'll start off very slicked back, and then as he keeps wrestling, his hair goes all crazy, and it looks like he's like wrestled a lot. He has taken damage. He has exerted himself.
Huh.
It's a cool little effect that I mark out for personally.
I gotta check this out. It may be just... It just happens because it's a tie that just happens to be in constant motion.
Right.
But
it makes perfect sense, but it's also one of those neat little details that I happen to like. Anyway,
okay.
Keep your eyes out next time you see a Jack Gallagher match.
Okay.
In the meantime, we've got Alexa Bliss defeating Mickie James to retain her Raw Women's title, which I believe you... Did we all call this one?
We called everything. Every result we got, minus the Cruiserweight Tag Team match.
I mean, was there one of us that did not call Alexa Bliss to win?
No. We the only difference of the predictions was ours and Brian's predictions for the Cruiserweight Tag Team. Everything else was the same.
Okay.
So, this was a really good match, and I must say, Mickie James slapping Alexa Bliss's ass in the beginning was kind of hot.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying too much attention to all the back and forth in this feud, so I missed the butt comment. All I know is when I was watching it again, all I heard from the promo beforehand was just Alexa saying, "I like my butt, it's cute." I'm like, okay, good.
It's because they tried to do this whole thing with Mickie James trying to start a thing calling Alexa Bliss's ass biscuit butt.
Is that even a thing?
WWE had Mickie James try to make that a thing, but nobody went with it. There was no biscuit butt chance. There was no hashtag biscuit butt. They were trying so hard to get that to started. But the difference is, Alexa Bliss is 100% right. She does have a cute ass. It doesn't look like any biscuit butt or whatnot. It is. I was like, as soon as she says, like, "I like my butt, it's cute," I'm like, you are not wrong.
I was more confused by the statement. It was like, biscuit, but what does that even mean?
Yeah, that's what WWE tried to have Mickie James start for her. It's like, oh, Alexa Bliss goes to Mickie James. You're old. Mickie James to Alexa Bliss. You have a biscuit butt. Start the chant. Cricket.
Yeah,
cricket.
All these insults in general are just fall exceedingly flat. So
it was the storyline.
Alexa Bliss does not have a biscuit butt, whatever the hell that means.
She has a very gorgeous ass.
Mickie James is not old. She's fantastic. All of these fell flat. I mean, granted, we got a pretty decent match out of these two.
These two definitely worked well together.
Yes.
And it looks like they're going to keep this feud going, which I'm actually very happy for. The end promo I wasn't a big fan of. I understand why they did it, but once again, I wasn't a fan. I'm like, did we really need to have that? Whatever. I felt like it basically halted the pay-per-view just so she can say something.
It seemed arbitrary. I mean, unless it was for pacing purposes for the live audience,
I guess.
That's the only thing I can think of, but otherwise, it just felt arbitrary.
But it actually wasn't really. This was one thing I can say about every match on this card. All the matches were very good.
Yes,
from very good to absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. And continuing down the card, we do have Enzo Amore defeating Kalisto to get the Cruiserweight Championship back. I'll be honest, I was a little surprised by this one.
I wasn't.
You weren't?
Not at all. I knew they were going to be hot potatoing this belt.
I thought they might, but I still wasn't 100% sure.
It was clear as day to me. I'm like, okay, they just gave Kalisto the belt. just because the whole I'm dedicating this to Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, and the second the Enzo gets his rematch, he's going to win it back, and that's exactly what happened. Even when it's what was it, a thumb to the eye?
Mm-hmm.
I will say it was Enzo's best match so far.
Yeah, again, I really enjoyed this one too.
Because he actually had offense. It wasn't a 10-minute beatdown like he had with Neville. Which, whatever your situation is, Neville, I want you to come back. I want you to come back on the actual main roster. That's just me. He did everything he could for the Cruiserweight division. Now move on to the next thing, which is either Raw or SmackDown. Probably SmackDown. Mm-hmm. SmackDown needs names.
Yes,
but that's just my opinion.
SmackDown needs talent. But in the meantime, I still really enjoy this match just because I love seeing Enzo do well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I was all Enzo in this match. I've nothing more else to say. I was in all for Enzo. I like Kalisto, but the man can't cut a promo to save his life.
But he can do a good lucha thing.
But that's all he has. He has a good lucha thing.
Good lucha thing, woo.
Okay. It's obvious we're going to have a Survivor Series match on the pre-show.
Hey, that will be fun, though.
That indeed it will be fun.
And not for nothing, Enzo, it's just fun to see a local boy do good. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Even though everyone still hates him. At least backstage.
I don't.
Everyone backstage. Apparently,
what about Bill the janitor?
There's no such thing as Bill the janitor.
Just watch. One of these days there's going to be a backstage segment or just like, hey, you, what's your name? It's like, my name's Bill. I'm the janitor.
There's only two Bills in entertainment that actually are worth a damn. Bill Nye the Science Guy and Mr. Bill. Oh no, Mr. Bill presents. Yay! Oh no!
Okay, I'm going to come up with another Bill that is not Bill Nye the Science Guy or Mr. Bill that is significant in entertainment.
Bill Murray.
There you go.
I win.
You just foiled. Congratulations, you played yourself.
I just did it before you did. So I win.
Bill Paxton.
I was hoping you say Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Pullman.
I was about to say Bill Pullman too.
Why are we talking about Bills?
Because Bill, I don't know. How'd we get on this topic anyway?
Oh yeah, Bill the janitor.
Bill the janitor. I'm telling you.
Bill the janitor not hating Enzo, but apparently he's not allowed in the locker room.
Well, yeah, that's why he hangs out with Bill the janitor. He made friends with Bill the janitor. He acknowledges that he's a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you cannot teach that.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I am doing fine, Mr. Enzo.
See, that's how friendships start. Just civility is a wonderful thing.
What the hell are we talking about?
We're talking about the misadventures of Bill the janitor. That's what we're talking about.
The misadventures of Bill and Enzo. That's the comedy bit for 205 Live.
There you go. It's make it happen. When you're out of ideas for Enzo, there's a free one for you. Enjoy.
Don't do it.
Yes, do it.
No, that's stupid. You stupid idiot.
Actually, considering that the way things are going in WWE right now, I think that the phrase "yes, do it" is probably a phrase that should be adopted more often. Because right now, we got to the first of the hijacked matches of TLC thanks to Mr. Meningitis Man.
That son of a bitch, Meningitis.
Well, hey, Meningitis took down Bray Wyatt for a while, which gave us this match where
it was obviously
the Demon Finn Balor wrestled AJ Styles, and it was amazing. Easily match of the night. Wow. And match of the year candidate. Just these two tore each other down like only they can do. And that ending.
Too sweet.
Yes, it is.
Indeed, it was too sweet.
It works on so many levels. Just mutual show of respect. They both came from the Bullet Club, acknowledging their past. Respect from one leader of the Bullet Club to another. Fan pandering. It was all great. The match was great, backwards and forwards.
There's honestly no more praise that we can do that. We've said, people out in the internet wrestling community has said, yes, this match was awesome. I loved every bit of it. I wanted it to go on another 20 minutes because I know they can do it. And I can't wait for the rematch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there, especially with what everything went down on Monday Night Raw with the invasion of Smackdown. I even loved the way. Well, first of all, the rematch is definitely going to happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I love the way that they tied in this match and how it was set up to what happened the next night on Raw, where it seemed like there was a good working relationship between Raw and SmackDown, but they specifically mentioned that to just really amp up the surprise level of it all.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, I still didn't dig the hashtag they were trying to do.
Under Siege? I loved it.
I
loved it.
I don't know.
Hell, I caught myself chanting Under Siege after at the end of Raw.
I don't know. It still fell a little flat for me at the time, but even so, you got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving on to the one blemish on this entire night, which even in that, it still serves its purpose. Jason Jordan defeated Elias. These little segments were dumb. I'm sorry. These were dumb.
I love the fact of... I don't remember who it was. It was like, oh, why would someone throw lettuce? Like, what was the point of someone throwing lettuce at Elias? And my response to it was, you guys are... You're an idiot. Because it's... Don't you know, like, the whole Hollywood thing of a performer that you are not enjoying, you throw fruit at them. That's the whole thing. If someone's doing a bad performance, you throw shit at them. But specifically, fruits and vegetables. Rotten fruits and vegetables. And that was the whole story going on with Elias. I'm actually surprised it took him this long to do something like that. But I love to roll with Elias. Or walk with Elias. Both. Elias is awesome. I'm a huge Elias fan. And it looks like they're actually starting some sort of feud with that controversial ending, with even the commentators pointing out, oh yeah, his shoulder was definitely up. And then they continue it on Raw with, Elias lost by disqualification because he hit Jason Jordan with his guitar. This was the point. It's like, oh yeah, Elias was just like, you son bitch. You throw fruit at me, I bash you with my guitar. I actually thought he was going to do that on the pay-per-view. To be perfectly honest, I thought it was going to be a disqualification ending, just starting a potential feud with Jordan. Obviously, we needed a pee-break match in between the two main events,
and that's the key. That's exactly what this was. Like, there has to be one of those, and it certainly did that job. But again, there's no way around it. Everything, all the Elias segments where Jason Jordan came and just started throwing stuff, it fell massively flat. It really did.
Oh,
at least if nothing else, compared to the rest of the show.
The Jason Jordan bits of it, yes, those fell flat. But when it comes to Elias, the man knows how to get a reaction from the crowd. He is a perfect heat magnet.
The whole time, I just kept looking at him, and it was like, okay, where were you in NXT? Where was this guy in NXT? And then all of a sudden, he was like doing the whole bit and walking with Elias. I'm like, okay, this I didn't see this one coming.
And I'm loving every second of it.
I want to see him in an actual full-on feud.
I want to see him. I want to see something big happen in the near future.
I want him to get Jeff Jarrett's guitar smashing gimmick.
I think that's what they're planning.
I hope so. That's the kind of thing I mark out for. Like the gimmick.
He's done
guitars.
It's the second time he's done that. First he did it to Finn Balor, and now he did it to Jason Jordan. Man, he's kind of gone downhill from there. That's not the point.
Even so, I want him to be like, I'm walking with so many of my fans that I've got infinite breakable guitars.
I want to think of it as just it's a self-regenerating guitar that he does damage, and all of a sudden you just see it pop up. It's fixed. Like a video game.
Infinite smashable guitars.
Yes.
just roll outside the ring like in No Mercy and just get guitars.